The Dolphins make their move at quarterback in the signing of Tyler Huntley. Yes, we have talked about him in the past, and I actually talked about him as a potential option to be the backup quarterback for Miami before the regular season began, because I believed at the time that he would be an upgrade over Skylar Thompson and or Mike White. But it's officially from Tom Pelissero, who he was on the Ravens practice squad, and when you're on a practice squad, you can be signed to the active 53-man roster by any other football team, and that is the case. So he will be joining the Dolphins 53-man and on the official roster, which means a corresponding move has to be made, which is yet to be announced. We'll have an eye on what that ends up being, whether it be a release of a player, whether it be Tua heading to IR. Either way, Tyler Huntley is now your second quarterback behind Skylar Thompson right now on the 53-man roster. That comes to absolutely no surprise. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we break down all Dolphins news and rumors. Make sure you hit that sub button because we're going to have you covered on everything surrounding the Fins. We just crossed 60K. Appreciate everyone who joined the channel. Let's get it closer to 61K. Let's do it, fellas. All right. People forget, by the way. I did want to throw this in here. Tyler Huntley is a former Pro Bowl quarterback. Now, did he deserve to be a Pro Bowl quarterback? Probably not. It was also similar time frame to when Mac Jones was a Pro Bowl quarterback. But either way, he is someone who's had success in the National Football League in the past. And listen, the numbers aren't going to be gaudy. They just aren't. He was a product of the Ravens system where he was able to really find a way to win football games, right? He wasn't someone that's going to go light it up, but he just did his job in Baltimore where he got the majority of his playing time. And I truly do believe this is at least an intriguing move because he's not going to beat you with his arm. He's more dynamic with his legs. And I will say he is better than Tim Boyle, who, if you didn't know, Tim Boyle was the Dolphins quarterback on the practice squad. So they could have just elevated him to the active roster and those two be your two quarterbacks, and Tim Boyle and Skylar Thompson. But Tyler Huntley's better than him, and we know that. Now, the question is Huntley going to start over Skylar Thompson? I don't know if that will be the case. We're going to talk more about that going on in this show. But let me know your one-word reaction to the Dolphins signing Tyler Huntley, the former Baltimore Raven, former Cleveland Brown. I thought they could have got out and got him before he was released by Cleveland and picked up by Baltimore in their practice squad. They ultimately didn't, but they spin around now with the need at quarterback and grab him. My one word for Tyler Huntley being signed to the Fins? Placeholder. Now, I don't know how long Tua Tagovailoa is going to be out. We'll have an update for you if he is placed on IR, which would require him to miss 4 games for the Miami Dolphins, which would be against, by the way, the Seahawks, the Patriots, the Titans, and the Colts, which, think about those 4 teams, fellas and folks at home. Like, even without Tua, there is a legit chance you can still go 3-1 in that stretch. The Titans are absolutely horrible on the offensive side of the football field. The Patriots don't have that good of a roster. The Colts, we just saw them lose to Malik Willis and Green Bay. That offense looks terrible. So there is a legit chance that Miami is able to stay afloat here. But I do think this is a placeholder move because at least as of right now, as much as I have been down on Skylar Thompson in the past and how I have not believed he can be a starting quarterback that wins football games for the Miami Dolphins, I do think at least at this point in each of their respective careers, I would rather trot out Skylar Thompson for the Fins at quarterback. 1, he knows the offense better than Tyler Huntley. And 2, when you play in a Mike McDaniel offense with this scheme, you need to be quick, you need to be decisive, and you need to be accurate with the football. Now, it remains to be seen if Skylar Thompson can do those things, but we have seen Tyler Huntley play in 20 career games, and I have never once watched him play football and thought at any point, wow, he is very quick, decisive, and accurate with the football. He can do really fun things outside of the pocket and on the move in the running game, but in terms of standing in the pocket and delivering strikes over the middle of the field and accurately down the football field, I'm not so sure Tyler Huntley can be that guy, which means he'd likely going to be the backup to Skylar Thompson at least for 1 week, which we'll talk about more here coming up in a second. But we couldn't do this show, an episode, without being sponsored by Game Time. And if you want to support us, support our sponsors. And you should anyway, because Game Time is the best ticketing app on the market. And if you want to go to any event in your local area, whether it is a Dolphins game, any other sporting event, or if you want to go to a comedy show or concert, Game Time is the place for you. And they've got so many cool features, including a new one called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Other features that I adore from Game Time: all-in pricing. This feature allows you to see the total price of your ticket up front rather than being surprised at checkout. I've told the story before, but imagine thinking you're buying a ticket for $60. You go to checkout and it's $120. That would stink. Not going to happen with Game Time. They also allow you to see your seat and vantage point in the app. You see on screen right now, you're going to be able to see where you're sitting from, get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. When I went to LSU, USC, and Las Vegas 3 weeks ago for week 1 of the college football season, I used Game Time Picks and Game Time to get those tickets, and I could not have been more happy with my seats because Game Time will make sure you are satisfied. So download the app today and make sure you use code CHATSPORTS when you create an account to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, I do truly believe that Skylar Thompson will start this week for the Miami Dolphins. I don't see a way that Tyler Huntley would be able to be signed on Monday morning off of the Ravens practice squad and ready to go with the full command of this offense on Sunday. Now, if you did that with a Ryan Tannehill, you traded for a Mac Jones, which I believe these type of situations are now fully off the table. They're going to ride with Huntley and Skylar Thompson until Tua can return to the football field. But I don't think any of those quarterbacks would be able to be ready for a game this week. And you got to be ready for Skylar Thompson to start on Sunday in Seattle. And it hasn't been the prettiest career for Skylar. He started a playoff game where it wasn't that bad. And in his career, he's 1-2 as a starter. His completion percentage stinks. And honestly, the stats aren't pretty. If you want to try to be convinced that Skylar Thompson's going to win a football game for the Dolphins on Sunday, looking at those statistics and looking up his highlights probably aren't going to help you. But I do believe he is going to be the starter moving forward for the Miami Dolphins, unless he is absolutely horrible. If he goes out on Sunday and the Dolphins offense can't move the football worth a lick, which the Seahawks defense is no joke, by the way. They have a really good secondary when you think of having Julian Love, Devon Witherspoon, the former top 5 pick. You have Tariq Woolen. They have guys back there, and they actually really limited the Patriots passing game, although that might not be hard to do this past Sunday. So Skylar Thompson, I think he's going to be your starter. But if he goes out there and can't muster up scoring opportunities for the Dolphins whatsoever, that following Week 4 game at home on Monday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans might be Tyler Huntley starting that game. But let me know your thoughts on Skylar Thompson. What is your confidence level in Sky to perform well and potentially get a win for Miami on the road against Seattle, who is now 2-0? I think that record doesn't show how good he actually is, or they are as a team, by the way. They barely beat Denver, and they barely beat New England. And honestly, if you watch that game, they probably should have lost that game. So they are a team that's beatable. The 2-0 record doesn't display how well they've actually played through 2 weeks, but scale your confidence level on Skylar Thompson down below. I'll give it a 5.7. Listen, we watched him in the preseason. Him and Mike White both looked really bad, in my opinion. It wasn't pretty whatsoever for those two quarterbacks in those preseason games. But listen, you're going to have to see him because he has the most command of this offense. He's been here with Mike McDaniel ever since he got hired in 2022 as a UDFA out of Kansas State. Excuse me, not UDFA, 7th-round pick. Skylar Thompson is someone who can perform in this offense. I believe he will at least have a better field than Tyler Huntley. And like I said, the only way that I see Tyler Huntley get PT for this Dolphins team is if Skylar actually goes out there and is absolutely horrific. I wouldn't judge him on what happened Thursday night against the Bills. He was playing with a lot of the backups, and he was playing on a short week notice, not having the full game plan, not working with the one-stringers that upcoming week. So it'll be interesting to see. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we are going to update you on everything around the Dolphins. And the Dolphins will have to make a roster move or a corresponding move to bringing in Tyler Huntley, which I would assume gets announced either later today or early tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed because we'll update you when that happens.